Why do some places call to us, inviting us to come in, relax, stay a while? Why do others make us want to leave as soon as possible? Well, chances are it has a lot to do with the lighting. And today we're going to talk about how to layer your lighting to make your space warm, welcoming, and inviting. Hey everyone, I'm Liz. I'm an interior designer and I help people create happy, healthy spaces. Lighting affects our experience of space. Too much light can make a space feel cold and bland, but too little light can make it dark and uninviting. A great lighting scheme creates the right balance between light and shadow, providing sufficient illumination and visual comfort and interest. The best way to do this is to use a layered approach. But before creating a plan, think about the feel and function of the space. How do you use it? What do you do in specific rooms? And how do you want the space to feel? Do you want a cozy, intimate, relaxing ambiance, or do you want a brighter, more energetic atmosphere? When planning the layers of light for a room, it generally makes sense to start with the more general and then work your way to the more specific. The first layer of lighting is ambient lighting. It's also called general lighting, and it provides overall illumination for a room. Take advantage of natural light during daylight hours. The light during the golden hour around sunrise and sunset is particularly beautiful. Beyond natural light, there are many light fixtures to provide general illumination at night. Some popular fixtures for ambient lighting are ceiling-mounted and recessed lights that direct light downward. I generally don't recommend ceiling-mounted downlights because they're usually unattractive. Single overhead downlights in particular cast unflattering shadows on the face, make the room's walls appear dark, and make the space feel smaller and less welcoming. They also cause glare, and when used at night, it disrupts your circadian rhythm. Recessed lights can be problematic as well if they're laid out in a grid pattern, because the bright and very even illumination makes the space seem bland and uninteresting. It's best to keep recessed lights at the perimeter of the room, installed about 23 inches from walls and windows. Regardless of the layout of the lights, dimmers can really help here so that the space is not overlit, and you can add other types of ceiling fixtures to add some interest. Hanging fixtures like chandeliers and pendants can direct light up, down, or up and down. Uplight chandeliers and pendants can be used on their own or in combination with recessed lights. They can provide indirect lighting by directing light to the ceiling and upper walls. These planes act as reflectors and distribute the light evenly throughout the room. A smooth and light-colored ceiling plane can be an efficient reflector of light. Indirect lighting minimizes shadows and reflected glare, illuminates the room with an even, smooth light, and makes the room feel light, warm, and welcoming. Other forms of indirect lighting that take advantage of the wall and ceiling planes are wall sconces or floor lamps that wash the walls with light, and cove, soffit, and valance lighting that bounce light off the ceilings and walls. The second layer of light is task lighting, and it's intended to illuminate a specific function and in a particular part of the room. This focus on the task requires direct light to illuminate a specific area or an object. Direct light creates a sharp contrast between light and shadow and is usually found as downlight fixtures. Some rooms where you might want to consider task lighting are the kitchen, where lighting only from overhead will create shadows. Under cabinet lighting is a great addition to illuminate the tasks at the countertop. In the bathroom, a pair of sconces flanking the mirror and mounted at eye level provides cross illumination and eliminates shadowing on the face. Home office areas where paperwork will be done can benefit from a task lamp, and seating areas or bedrooms where reading will be done can use table and floor lamps. The third layer of light is accent lighting, and it's focused on points of interest and highlights particular objects like artwork, sculpture, bookcases, and plants. It's also used outdoors to highlight trees, plants, and water features, or to draw the eye to a particular area of the landscape. Accent lighting is also direct light, but with higher output and a narrower beam to really focus on the object. There are lots of options for accent lighting. Track lighting is often used for accent lighting with adjustable fittings that allow light to be focused precisely. Cable and rail also uses this approach. Recessed adjustable fixtures can be used to highlight objects or features on the wall plane. Just install a directional fixture instead of the standard downlight at areas where you want to focus the light. Picture lights are great for highlighting paintings, prints, and photos. Strip LEDs are great for highlighting shelves, bookcases, or cabinetry. And uplights work well for plants and sculptures. Decorative lighting could be considered the fourth layer of interior illumination, and it really helps add sparkle to your space. Decorative lighting is more about visual appeal than illumination, but it can be part of the ambient lighting scheme as we discussed earlier with chandeliers, pendants, and lamps. They add interest to the generally even level of illumination provided by ambient lighting. This is where you can really have some fun and express your personal style. So to recap, decide on the feel and function for your space. Then select your general lighting. Remember, less is more. Select task lights for the spaces that require it. Then highlight the areas you want to draw attention to with accent lighting. And finally, decorate with beautiful chandeliers, pendants, and lamps to put your personal stamp on the space. Thanks so much for joining me today. Please leave me comments and questions below about lighting or any of my other videos. I would love to hear from you. I'll be back with another video next week. In the meantime, have a great week, and I'll see you next time.